The palace shimmered in the glow of the setting sun, but its brilliance could not mask the tension that clung to the halls. Sheikh Hamdan walked through corridors heavy with expectation, unaware that the most powerful force he would face that evening was not politics, loyalty, or duty. It was the quiet, unyielding truth within Haadiya Zen. For months, whispers had circulated, rumors of a restlessness in her gaze, a storm behind her calm. Hamdan had thought he understood her, assumed he could navigate the currents of her heart, and believed their connection unbreakable. Yet Haadiya held a truth too sharp, too precise, and too essential to be contained by comfort, love, or obligation. She appeared in the grand chamber, a figure of composure, yet with a tension that spoke of unseen battles. Hamdan's eyes searched hers, looking for familiarity, for reassurance, for the warmth that had once seemed eternal. Instead, he found an edge, a clarity, a quiet fire that unsettled him more profoundly than any declaration or confrontation could. "Hamdan," she began, her voice steady yet carrying the weight of inevitability, "there is something you need to know. Something I cannot forgive, even in the silence of my own heart." Her words were deliberate, and the pauses between them cut deeper than any accusation could have. He stepped closer, seeking understanding, his voice tinged with both urgency and disbelief. "Haadiya, speak to me. Tell me what has burdened you. We can face it together." But her gaze remained fixed, unwavering, revealing a resolve that refused compromise. Her truth was hers alone, and it demanded recognition, not negotiation. "I cannot undo the past," she said quietly, almost to herself, "but I can honor the integrity of my heart. Some things leave marks too deep to erase, and some betrayals, even unspoken, cannot be forgiven." Hamdan felt the sting of her words, the realization dawning that he had underestimated the precision with which her heart measured truth and deception. He struggled to comprehend, to trace the moment when things had shifted beyond repair. Memories of smiles, promises, and shared confidences replayed in his mind, each now tinged with the bitter clarity of hindsight. Haadiya Zen's truth was not born of anger, it was born of self-preservation, of an unflinching commitment to her own moral compass. The room seemed to pulse with tension, the air thick with what could not be spoken. Hamdan realized that her heart, once tender and yielding, had sharpened through silence, through reflection, and through the quiet accumulation of awareness. She had forged a truth so precise that it could not be bent or hidden, and in that moment, he understood its irrevocability. Her lips curved in a faint, almost imperceptible expression, a mixture of sadness and determination. "I loved, I trusted, I believed," she said, "but the world and the promises within it cannot dictate the sanctity of my heart. Some truths demand distance, even from those we care for most deeply." Hamdan felt both admiration and despair mingle within him, a storm he could neither command nor contain. He had always been a man of action, accustomed to resolving conflicts, repairing misunderstandings, and navigating the expectations of power. Yet here, in the presence of her quiet authority, he found himself powerless. Haadiya Zen's heart had become a fortress, and the key had never belonged to him, it had always belonged to her. Even as she moved toward the corridors that led to freedom, Hamdan felt the weight of inevitability. Her truth had carved a path that he could not follow, a boundary so absolute that respect and surrender were the only responses left. Her heart, though tender in memory, now carried an edge that spared no compromise. The silence that followed her departure was not emptiness, it was a living testament to the precision of her convictions. Hamdan understood that love is not always about presence or proximity. Sometimes, it is about witnessing integrity in motion, even if it moves away from you. Haadiya Zen's heart had spoken, and it had been too sharp, too unyielding, to forgive. Days passed, and the palace carried In the weeks that followed, Sheikh Hamdan felt the weight of her absence more keenly than any public duty could demand. Haadiya's decision lingered in every room, every quiet corridor, a reminder of the uncompromising truth she had carried in her heart. He realized that forgiveness was not something she had withheld from him out of cruelty. It was a boundary, a shield, and a declaration of self-respect. He replayed their shared moments in his mind with painful clarity. The laughter they had shared, the promises whispered beneath starlit skies, now carried a bittersweet weight. Every gesture, once familiar and comforting, had been measured against her heart's integrity, and he understood that he had never fully grasped the depth of her inner resolve until it was too late. Even as he engaged with advisors and navigated the duties of the palace, Haadiya's absence shaped his decisions. Her courage became an invisible guide, prompting reflection and humility. He realized that leadership, like love, demanded understanding, patience, and the willingness to respect forces beyond one's control. Her truth had taught him that power cannot bend a will forged in conviction. At night, he wandered the palace gardens, tracing the paths she had once walked. The moonlight reflected off the fountains, shimmering like fragments of memories he could never reclaim. He felt her presence not as comfort, but as a challenge, an enduring reminder that brilliance cannot be tamed, and that some hearts are designed to remain untouchable. The lessons of her resolve permeated his thoughts, reshaping the way he approached trust, loyalty, and understanding. Her truth had left a mark that could not be erased, a reminder that brilliance, once awakened, refuses compromise. The palace, though outwardly unchanged, carried a new awareness. Sheikh Hamdan's voice had shifted the energy, leaving a permanent mark on hearts, minds, and the memory of those who witnessed the moment. Gradually, Sheikh Hamdan began to change, quietly, in ways that those around him could sense but not fully comprehend. He listened more, observed more, and tempered his impulses with reflection. Haadiya's heart, though too sharp to forgive, had left an imprint so profound that it reshaped his understanding of trust, love, and respect forever. By the time she concluded, the hall remained still for a heartbeat longer, as if the palace itself were exhaling. Her words had not merely been heard, they had been absorbed, processed, and respected. Sheikh Hamdan felt a rare humility wash over him, realizing that true influence is not claimed